Hello, Namaskar, and welcome to today's Leadership Satsang. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Kapoor Mehndiratta. We are here to talk about something that we all have within us, but it is hidden sometimes. In fact, it is hidden to us as well. So, what is that hidden power, that leadership power that we all have, but we rarely use? Isn't it intriguing? And trust me, this is no clickbait, this is no hook or whatever else you may want to call it. This is a reality that we need to look at today. So I'm going to take you deeper into this and expose this power that lies within you once we bring ourselves here into this moment completely. So can we please do that together? May I request you to prepare yourself to be here with me 100%. Could you please ensure you're sitting straight? If you're sitting on a chair like I am right now, place your feet firmly on the ground. Keep your back straight and relaxed. Relax your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. Take another deep breath in again and out. Let's do it a few more times. And as you breathe in and out, could you just scan your body and see if there is any tension in any part of your body that you can let go? Are you holding a frown on your forehead that you can relax? Are you holding some stress in any part of your body that you can release? See if you need to adjust yourself again till you feel completely relaxed. This day could have been a good day or could have been a better day, but it is this moment that matters more than anything else. And when you bring yourself into this moment completely, you just make a much better moment for yourself and for those around you. And if you bring in the ability to create these moments, moment after moment after moment, that's what adds up to a good day or a better day or the best day of your life. And as you keep adding these days, it just becomes the best life you could have lived with all its ups and downs and roller coaster rides and whatever else that falls in between. It's a simple yet very deep practice to connect with your core that helps you to bring your best in every moment. So thank you for doing this along with me. Let's take a nice deep breath again and prepare ourselves to chant Om, the union of three most powerful syllables, A, O, Ma. And each one of these syllables has the ability to be a chant in itself, offering lots of physical, mental, and emotional benefits if you so choose to indulge in them. When they come together, they make a universal sound, and hence Om is considered to be a universal chant. Let's breathe in and out. And with the next breath in, we'll start the chant together. Breathe in.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And whenever you're ready, please bring your palms together and rub them until you feel some warmth between your hands, gently placing them on your eyes, on your face, on your neck, the shoulders, and your entire body. And slowly come back. And as you do, you know what I want to know. I want to know if you're here with me 100%. Please give it to me in the chat. Are you here 100%? And which part of the world you're joining me from? Very, very warm welcome to everyone who's here. Yeah, Indiran, Anushri, so good to have you here. Give me 100% confirming that you are 100% here with me in this moment. And of course, which part of the world are you joining me from today? Let's have that in the chat. We're here to talk about a skill that we all have within us. You know, there are so many leadership skills that one can acquire. In fact, every single time I have an opportunity to teach leadership to senior management executives, I often first clear the misconception that they have arrived. And you might wonder that why would they call for a training session? You know that a lot of trainings that we are nominated for are decided by our bosses. I've been on that side of the table as well when I was working with the banks. And we would just look at trainings as a nice break, away from work, with no excuses, no questions asked. And sometimes we could also learn a few things from it. But honestly, it's not the trainers, but the willingness of those who are sitting on the other side to see if you're open to learning, if you're open to questioning yourself, if you're open to accepting the fact that no matter how much you know, there is so much more to learn. There is so much more to know and learn about your own self, about your own leadership abilities. And then there are a few things that we have within us that we are not using as much as we should, as much as we can, as much as we need to. Before I share what that is, I'm curious to know what would be your guess. What do you think is that leadership power within you that you rarely use? Give it to me in the chat, please. Yeah, Surendra from Haryana, thank you for joining in. Nemocha from Assam, Seema from Bangalore, Anushri from Mumbai. Tell me, what is your guess? What do you think this hidden power is? What is this leadership power that we all have? That's the key word here, right? We all have it. What is that? What's your guess? Of course, I will tell you the answer, but what is your answer? Let's have it in the comments, please. What do you think is this leadership power that is within us, which we're not using, which we use sparingly? Sometimes we use it when there is no other option. Sometimes we are not able to use it because people tell us that we can't. I'm giving you lots of hints. Come on, give it to me. Think, and tell me. And you could, of course, give a wrong answer because I think for now there is just one answer that I want to share with you all. And that really is all encompassing. Once you understand what that is, you will realize. Humility, very good guess. Very good guess. So let's put it in the context and see. Humility is the leadership power within us that we rarely use.
I would agree to it somewhat, Surendra. I would agree to it. I understand the power of humility. I know you do too. But let's look at it another way, right? Humility needs to come in for those who have achieved something in life and they still need to be humble about it and continue to learn. Do you agree? Can we agree in the chat if you agree that, yeah, just because you've achieved something doesn't mean you've arrived. And so it's very important to be humble. And it's very important to remind yourself of being humble. And that, in fact, adds to your power as a leader. Isn't it? Can we agree if you all agree with what I'm saying? You need to have achieved something to remind yourself of humility. Because a lot of people who have probably just begun their career or who don't see their career shaping up the way they wanted, or people around them for some reason have not let them feel like an achiever despite having some achievements to their name, they might not find enough reasons to be humble. They'll say, you know what, मैंने किया ही क्या है जो मैं, like, I'm not done much to be humble about. You understanding what I'm saying? Right? So you say, okay, you know what, I've achieved this, I've achieved that, and I still need to be humble. And therefore, it might not be something that everyone needs to use. You need to kind of come to a level where you have achieved something, at least in your own eyes, in your own heart. And then, of course, reminding yourself of humility is important. People management is a very important leadership skill. There's no denying that. But that's not what everybody has within them. I wish that was true. How I wish that was true. Right? Ultimately, it's all about people, managing people. That's what leaders have to do. That's their only job. That's the only job. And if I put it that way, it looks like there is nothing much to do. Is it? We like spend 18 hours, sometimes 25 hours in a day working, because we are holding leadership positions. And if one were to oversimplify it by saying, Karna hai kya hai aapko? Your only job is to manage people. It sounds simple, but it isn't that simple. There are so many skills that one has to learn to become a people person. And not every skill is a knack that people have. You really have to consciously develop a few, right? So that's not the answer. Compassion, to me, is an attitude of life. I think compassion is not a skill. I don't really put it in the skill category. I think compassion is the attitude with which you choose to live your life, the attitude with which you show up in every relationship, even your relationship with strangers, because they are also humans, co-inhabitants of this planet or any other living form, right? Can you bring in compassion for everything and anything and everyone and anyone? It's the attitude with which you choose to live your life. So that's not the answer either. Empathy, very, very important trait again. But you know what, Satish, not everybody is empathetic. Isn't it? Do you agree? Have you met some people who are not as empathetic as we expect them to be? And these expectations are higher as people go higher up in terms of their titles, right? But unfortunately, it's not as obvious. It's not such a given. To be a giver is, again, an attitude. Isn't it, Seema? Like, there are so many people who don't see a reason to give. And there are so many who would not give as much as they can. And then there are a few who give a lot more than they need to. It really differs. It depends upon how you see it, how you understand the importance, and how aware you are of what giving does for you. Honestly, I think when we are a giver, or if you want to put it that way and call yourself a giver, somebody who is always seeking opportunities to give, you will realize that it's not a one-way transaction. It's a two-way. You will also receive something. You will receive fulfillment. You will receive innate happiness. You will receive higher self-esteem, higher self-respect. Isn't it? It's just that very nice feeling inside of you when you're able to give something. It brings in so much grounding. It brings in so much gratitude. So as much as we're giving, we're receiving in return as well. So if you want to call giving as a leadership quality, I'd rather have it placed in the attitude column, like having the attitude to give. And then there is no dearth of how much you could give. And a lot of people would find excuses to not give. even though they have all the resources. But they always compare it with somebody else out there who doesn't have as much or who has a lot more. And then they'll say, oh God, I don't have as much as this person. When I do, then I will give. Isn't it? So that's not the answer again. Take people along. Take people along. Taking people along is being inclusive, another important leadership skill. But that's not the power I'm talking about. So what is the answer? What is the answer? Do you really want to know? Give me BIO in the chat. This is unlike any other time when I have just started the satsang by telling you, this is what it is, this is what you should do, this is what's going to help you fly, and etc. But you know what? Today's session requires you to think, requires you to go deeper. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about that depth within you that you need to be aware of, that you need to use as your power. So what is it? Give me BIO in the chat. Bring it on. Please say bring it on. And if you do, then I might just tell you the right answer, the answer. So here is one last hint before I give it away. Okay, I'm going to tell you a few stories, 3 to be precise. And what you would find common in them is the answer to this question. The hidden leadership power that we all have but rarely use is demonstrated in these 3 stories. So story number 1, have you heard of Arunima Sinha? Give it to me in the chat. Does it ring a bell? Are you aware of who Arunima Sinha is? Arunima Sinha, you should look up if you don't know. Google is allowed. Okay, you can cheat if you like. That's all right. It's an open book test. Who is Arunima Sinha? Give it to me in the chat. A real source of inspiration, because you know what? When life takes something away from us, accidentally, unfortunately, we just hold on to that as an excuse to not do anything else in life, as an excuse to give up on our own potential. But that's not what Arunima did. Who is she? A mountaineer. And what makes her a special mountaineer, Satish? What makes her so special? What makes her a source of inspiration? As much as I think every mountaineer is an absolute inspiration for me, because I'm far from getting onto any summit. I've recently picked up on my interest in trekking. And so the best that I've done so far is to climb the highest peak of Maharashtra. It's called Kalsubai. And that was one hell of an experience. And also a quick fact check on how much more I need to do at my fitness level. So I'm at it. But I do have a lot more respect now for mountaineers. So she is an amputee mountaineer, the first female amputee who has climbed Mount Everest. She got there on one leg. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone who has been able to tap into this hidden leadership power to do something so remarkable. The second story is Ratan Tata ji. If you've been following me, you would know that there are very few instances when we talk about leadership where I wouldn't bring him in, because I think he's epitome of leadership for me. Did the man have some imperfections? I don't know. I'm assuming that might be true. Nothing that I have ever been able to notice or identify in him. My only regret is to not having met him in real life. But he always stands tall in front of me whenever I have to inspire people to become better people, better individuals, better leaders. So you know that after 26/11, Ratan Tata ji made time, in fact, prioritized to go and meet the families of the victims. We all know that, right? What did that do? That deepened the trust and respect he already had. He had loads of it. And after he did this, that respect just exponentially increased, not only by the victims' families, not only by the Tata employees, but worldwide. Anybody who got to know of that gesture could only feel more respect, more love for this leader. And he also leveraged on that hidden power. And so does any factory worker who takes it upon himself or herself to guide a newcomer, even if they don't have the title, even if it's not part of their KRA. Or a mother who does her best to live an ambitious career despite having children to take care of, to nurture. All these leaders are aware that they have this power within them they need to access. And this power is called as choice. Choice. Having a choice. Because you know what? You always have a choice. Let's understand this, okay? Before you think, oh my God, this is not even in the list of skills. So how is this a hidden power? It is, because you know what? When you are standing in front of excuses that your mind creates, which in turn creates limitations that you can either do this or you can do that. That is the best version of choice that we create in our head. Isn't it? Or a condition. If you want to do this, then you have to do that, or you should have that. If you want to climb a mountain, you should at least have 2 legs. Well, no, I choose to climb the mountain even with 1 leg that I have. Right? You have a lot of employees and something tragic happened. Please use your money as a resource. Please use your team as a resource and go and ask them to do what needs to be done. No, while the employees are there, not there anymore, and we've lost them to this tragedy, I want to reach out to the families, not as a chairman of the company, but as another human being. I choose to do that. I don't have to do that. I don't have to. Ratan Tata didn't have to do that, but he chose to do that. A simple factory worker didn't have to go beyond his crazy KRA list and make time to help a newcomer, but he chose to do that. A mother can choose to be a great mother and at the same time have a nice, ambitious career for herself. You know, so many people around me had this advice for me when I was a new mom. You know, when I had infants, and 2 by God's grace, right? Because I'm a mother of twins, as many of you know. I was told that, you know what, here it is, hang your boots. You've got to now be a full-time mom. And I said, I am a full-time mom in my heart, but I'm also a full-time professional. And I'm also going to learn music because I love music. And I'm also going to make time for my parents who I want to visit every month because we live in different cities. And I also want to go and party with my girls. And I did all of that. It is this and that and this and whatever else you want to be, whatever else you choose to be. You always have a choice. Please think about it whenever you're making excuses to yourself or someone else. Please confront this reality. Accept the fact that you have a choice. You choose to play small. Sure, that's your choice. You choose to pick only one of the 10 things you can do with your potential. Sure, that's your choice. But know it's your choice. Don't make it sound like a compulsion or a victim story or a state of helplessness, because it isn't. If you have me around you, I wouldn't allow you to do that because it's not true. What's true is you always have a choice. You choose whether you want to be right or you want to be happy. You choose whether you want money at the cost of your values or you want your values to come ahead of everything else that matters. You choose. And if you so choose, you will realize that a little increment in the potential that you have been using so far, whatever is the potential you've been able to bring out on the table, just a little 10% increment to that can substantially change your life forever. And I'm not just talking about professional life. Why? Because professional life has a direct impact on your personal life and vice versa. It's one life. It's one life. We cannot put it in silos. We can't look at it as compartments that now I'm entering bogie number B1. After I finish what I need to do here, I'll go to bogie number B2. It doesn't work like that. It's one. Who we are here is who we are there. What happens here affects there. Isn't it? So when you make choices that make you feel fulfilled, when you make choices that makes you feel that you have truly lived up to your potential, is when you have that smile on your face, that energy that you can then pass on to the world around you, to your loved ones, to people who look up to you, to people who expect you to lead them from the front. That's when you know that you're truly ready for it. When you know you have the choice and when you know how to make the right ones. So here is a question I want to leave you with. Where in your life are you underutilizing this power within you? You've got to think about it. You've got to take this upon yourself before you go to bed tonight. I would request you to please reflect upon this question. Don't let this be an interesting session. Let it be an impactful one. If you can take away this insight, if you can really sit and think, how am I underutilizing myself? What is it? Which part of my life? Where in my life am I underutilizing this power of having a choice? If I choose to be happy, I'll have to take a few steps that might not be so easy, but you know what? I'm living by my choice. And when I live by my choice, I'm willing to face the consequences. Isn't it? Then the consequences are yours. They always are, they always were, they always will be. But when you're unaware of the choices you have made, you look here and there to pass on those consequences to some other people, blaming them for it when they are not as per your expectations, isn't it? You know, blaming is something that you cannot excuse yourself for at all, as much as excuses are not allowed either, because you're a leader and not everyone can be. It's not an easy ride, but it's a beautiful one. It's fulfilling. The best part is that it makes you a better person. So as we conclude today's satsang, please write in the comments that I have a choice. May I please ask you to make this into an affirmation if you can. And keep affirming it to yourself over and over and over again. I have a choice and I choose. I choose what I want to do. I choose to find a way out to do it. I choose to learn what I need to learn to get that support if I'm not getting enough of it. Everything that I'm doing or wish to do in my life is my choice. And that is your superpower. So I hope this message has added to your power. I hope this is a powerful insight for you. And I hope that you do reflect upon it so that you know how to tap into this power in whichever area of your life that you need to. Wonderful. Thank you so much for making the choice to be here with me live for this satsang session. And I choose to show up again next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is the last one for this month, which means it's an open house, open Q&A. Be ready with your questions. We're going to put it out in the comments whenever I ask you to. And from there on, I'll start picking up the first question first, right? First in, first out. So be ready with your questions. I look forward to meeting you next week. And till then, keep choosing what's best for you. Thank you so much. I will see you soon with another important insight in the space of leadership and spirituality. Till then, please take very good care of yourself. Thank you. Good night. God bless you all.